Re me.
Hey, are you going to hit live on the video, Adam, so it plays the music? I guess I can push the button.
We set up a time to meet prior to when we start. When you show up 3 minutes before you start,
I was here. I was trying to get this thing situated. It sucks.
I show up typically an hour before the show.
Yeah, tell the people why their time is invaluable. All right, let's jump into it. You're listening to the most downloaded HVAC entertainment podcast in the world. Welcome to the HVAC Overtime show, everybody. Hosted by me, your best friend in the whole world, Bill Russell. I got my best friend over here on my left, Mr. Christopher Stevens, my buddy Adam Muffage up in the right, and Joe, the Mongoloid somebody, is hanging out with us tonight. Looks like he made it just in the nick of time.
Oh, yeah.
So real quick before we get to our daily antics, got a couple of quick shout outs. My buddy Randy, who's I think he's out there somewhere. Randy and his little buddy Luke are watching tonight. His Pap Dave passed away a couple years ago, and it would have been his birthday today. So happy birthday up in the trailer hood of heaven, if you will. You're greatly missed. Randy had an awesome post this week. I think it was his little moo cow that he put on some vents or something like that. But if you guys missed it, go check out the HVAC Overtime Facebook group. I think it's linked in there somewhere. If not, it's on Randy's page. But yeah, apparently little moo cow's balls were a little bit warm, so he set it on the vent. It was hysterical in my heart.
That was pretty funny, to be honest.
It was pretty cool.
So are you done with your shout outs?
Let's see. We got the moo cow, we got the Pap, we got the birthday. I'm done. Thanks for showing up, guys.
Bill's done his part. Let's address the fact that Joe literally showed up in the middle of the intro.
Seconds.
Like
seconds.
Dude, I was gonna honestly, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was gonna message in the chat, like the YouTube chat, saying, "Guys, I don't know where these guys are," because nobody was responding to me, and I was in StreamYards, and I seen the old icon, so I figured, oh, that's not it, and I didn't refresh, and then I finally realized, oh, it's live. I refreshed. But I thought you would see the new icon in there. I thought it was the old episode. So I'm there sitting, nobody's saying nothing. I'm like, oh my God, where are these guys? Then I hear Chris's voice on my YouTube. So then I put two and two together.
just so you know, we're always in here early.
yes.
Always.
I know,
It's actually part of the intro. It's like in
I
the
thought it
intro.
was odd. I
It's
thought
like
it
the
was
first
odd.
20 seconds of the intro. How
Yeah,
we
there
talk-
will never be a day
Usually
where
in
you're there
here
first.
an hour before the show, like all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Like I was this close. I had Gary McCready on speed dial. I'm like, hey, bro, position just opened up, man. I know you've been wanting in.
Do I get a
that's
vibe
weird.
because I'm wearing a t-shirt or?
There's like a new feature on Facebook where you can give like emojis. I mean, on
Sweet.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's been like
I
that.
wondered what was
Yeah,
going
it's been
on. I
another
thought it was just
chat.
hallucinating.
Yeah, we don't see it in the StreamYard chat.
I see
thing.
little hearts.
Yeah. No, don't do the hearts. That's kind of queer. Do the 100%. Those are
I don't
cool.
know. I see little hearts.
I want them to. I think they should do the GIFs or GIFs or whatever they're called. They need to do
Yeah.
that.
Jiffy
Yeah.
Lube.
For
That would be
sure.
cool.
You know what they should do for people that give $100 super chats? They should like let them just freaking take over the whole screen. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Pop on. Yeah.
Pop on, you know, pretty much.
And so what's up, guys? What have you guys been up to this week?
It's been a blah week, dude.
Like, it hasn't been warm over here. I'm sure it hasn't been warm in your area either, Chris.
No, it's been weird, man. Like no warmer than 75 degrees for the last 3 weeks.
You know what? Let me point something out real quick. So Chris's area is nice and cold. My area is like, I mean, not hot, not cold. And Canada is on fire.
Yep, that's right. Canada is literally ruining the air quality of all the north
100%.
of the United States.
Joe is orange from all the smoke.
That is true. I think his walls and his blinds are stained orange.
He smoked like a fine piece of meat.
Oh.
What is the deal, man? You like doing the moose rescue right now? Like, is there people going around saving all the meese, or like how's that work?
I think it's starting to slow down. I think we got a little bit of rain today over here.
You got to run out of trees.
Yeah, I know, right?
And
I
is
think
your air quality bad too?
No, they released it today. I think they released it today.
They released the air, or they just
yeah, they released it.
It's like
the air quality.
They fucking get the vacuum above the Canadian peninsula, and they're just sucking out all the air.
And they
see what I thought was going on. Since Canada doesn't really have an army, this is how they're like taking over America. They're just like blowing all this toxic gas into our country. And then there's like tiptoe right across the border.
Wait a minute. You guys see Ryan? He's spewing the conspiracies already. What did he say?
What's he saying?
Said dirty bomb shot down over DC. It's not a dirty bomb, Ryan. Come on.
Dirty bomb. It's been a dirty bomb. It's been this way for days. There was also a fire up in Grayling, Michigan. And
at least it's not my state this time, dude. So we're good. My state's not burning down at the moment.
In here, it's not really, I don't know. I don't really notice anything with the air quality. It doesn't smell different, doesn't look different. But, you know, other states closer to the Canadian border, that's where I hear it's getting bad.
Well, yeah. I would imagine that it's hard for you to know what it's like in the north because you keep driving all the way to the south to work, Bill. So
that's a good point. Yeah, I drive Cleveland like every day, and all I do is smell exhaust fumes all day, which, you know, that brings up a good point, Chris. I could be slowly poisoning myself driving around so much.
True.
I don't have a CO monitor in my truck.
You know, mine has my CO monitor went off a couple times driving in traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? Jim Davis said that's a potential danger, especially when you're driving long ways on the highway. He said not so much because the cars around you, because your own car will like form a vacuum and it will suck its exhaust back in to that void that you're I guess punching through the air essentially.
Yes. It probably doesn't help that I constantly keep my air conditioner on recirc too, so it just recircs all the air that's in it. So if it is leaking exhaust into there, it's just recircing it.
It just works so much better that way, though.
Dude,
right?
like I'm on a high protein diet now. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's just horrible. I'm just drilling farts into my seat all day long, man.
You like I gotta ask you an honest question. Like, have you ever, when you get out of your van, when you get home, you ever smelled the seat?
I have a seat cushion, but I've smelled that, yeah.
I have. It's pretty nasty, bro. It's
like
pretty nasty. After a day when
back.
you're just blasting ass in the van, you get out and you're like,
oh, thank God.
It's like when you take your shoes off. Like you ever smell your shoe? Like just not because like you want to, just because you're like, you just got to know like how bad something could smell.
For sure.
Reminds me of a story when I was a child.
Let's go into story time. Wait. Let's cue up the Mr. Rogers story time music right now.
Let me get my cardigan.
And here comes the trolley. The trolley's got to go through, and then we go to Storyland.
Me and my cousins would go ride our bikes behind this grocery store. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was IGA, maybe Farmer Jack. I don't remember. But we would ride back there, and they had this dumpster that looked like it just was filled with garbage and then exploded. So like the whole dock area was just like covered, like looks like one of those tremor worms just blew up. Like it was grotesque. We would ride our bikes back there because you couldn't get like within. You ride around the corner of this building, like you just couldn't go any further. So we would dare each other to see who would go further into this dock where it just smelled so rancid.
Oh,
yeah, that's how we passed time back where I grew up.
Yeah,
see who could get closest to the dumpster.
For sure.
See, Ryan, me and you have a lot of things in common. You grew up in Ohio. I grew up in Michigan. We're basically the same people.
Speaking of which. Did anyone catch Bill's comment on his YouTube video the other day?
No, I just.
He was talking about driving. He's like, I just crossed over into Ohio, and what did you say? There was a truck in front of you. I'm following a bunch of.
Yeah, there's a porta potty truck in front of me. And I was like, oh, look, it's an Ohio school bus. I was just waiting to see if anybody in the comments would catch that and light me up.
So for those that don't know too, in our super secret private chat that we have where we discuss stuff that would like end the world, I came up with a really good idea for Bill, because Bill like is always sharing stories about how he goes to truck stops like all the time.
Yeah, I remember this.
Can I share this super top secret idea, or is anybody gonna steal it from you?
Truck Stop Follies?
Yes, Truck Stop Follies. As I said, he should start a new YouTube channel called Truck Stop Follies. And it's Bill's like the curious HVAC guy, but it's curious truck stop guy. And it's him exploring the truck stops and the pictures that he takes and the curious things that he finds and curious places that he puts his body parts.
I'm super okay with this because I was on my way to Cleveland the other day, and there's this truck stop somewhere. I don't know. I don't remember where I go, but it's like Pat Amherst, Akron area. Anyway, there's this truck stop, and it's got this scenic path you can walk out to, and you can view this like giant cliff area. Like it's amazing. It's such a great view, but it's it's a good 20-minute jog through the forest. And I was thinking, it's like, how many nasty, dirty truckers have been out here banging each other in these woods? Like.
I 100% guarantee you that if there's a cliff at a truck stop, that people are getting thrown off. Like literally the mob just stops. They go to truck stop on Route 129 and then just throw that dude off the side. Like there's just got to be bodies down.
You know what? So I pulled up into the truck stop area and I pulled far away because I wanted to get some steps in. So I pulled as far away as I could. And then I look over and I see this walking trail, and the sign says scenic cliff area, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, cool. It was closed off last time I was here. Probably because of murder. Who knows? And so I'm sitting there, and this old guy walks in there. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to walk in there and like have a random small talk conversation with this old dude in the woods. So I wait like 20 seconds. And I want to get him ahead of me so I can just not be around him. And then another old guy walks in there. I'm like, fuck, man. It's like an old guy parade. So I'm just waiting. So that guy goes in there. And then I follow that guy. And I'm walking. I'm like, it's just a loop, like a cement sidewalk loop in this woods. And I'm walking, I'm like, the fuck did those two old guys go? I don't see them. Like I walked the entire loop twice because I went, saw the cliffs, took a picture. Neat. Walked around, like I need some more steps. Took another lap. I didn't see those two old guys that walked in either they're ghosts or they're banging.
Well, what was that? Yeah, they could have. They walked in separate so they didn't get caught.
Yeah.
You remember Pee-wee's Playhouse? What was that? Large Marge?
Oh, she was the truck stop or the truck driver, right?
Yep, she was a ghost.
Man, yeah, that's right.
But that wasn't from Pee-wee's Playhouse. That was from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh yeah,
he gets a ride from Large Marge, right? I think if I'm reaching right now. So
hey, what was the scariest like cartoon or scariest thing you watched as a kid? Something that like burned into your brain.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show. I was
that would burn into your brain.
I was so confused. I didn't understand why they were singing and dressing in girls' clothes. I was just like, I didn't understand it. But
it was
I knew the words to every song.
Not a cartoon, but a movie. When I was a kid, when it first came out, Candyman.
I never watched that one.
I've never seen that to this day.
It's pretty gory, especially for a young kid.
I should watch that. Joe, did you guys have TV when you were a kid?
We did, but I don't really remember my scariest moment.
You probably just watched your dad murder all those people in the mob, didn't you?
Yeah,
that was scary enough.
Yeah, I imagine. My scariest thing was so Garfield cartoon had a holiday movie one time, and it was like this. It was a Halloween special, and it was him and Odie, and they go to this like little island, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but there was these like ghostly pirates that were following him to this island. And long story short, they went through some stuff and came back. Turns out the old guy that they were talking to was a ghost. Like the whole thing just creeped me right out.
Yeah,
to this day, it's still
was crazy. Yeah,
never got scared by cartoons. I was too busy looking at the Fredericks of Hollywood catalog and the freaking, the stuff that a 7-year-old should be looking at.
7 years old, huh? Wow.
He was looking at, what was it, Victoria's Secret that showed up for your ma?
Pretty much,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Like intercept them, and then that was when you had the squigglies on the TVs. Like if you would switch channels fast enough, it would stop for a second, and you'd be like, "Oh, what is it? Oh, what is that?" You get like
Oh,
one
you
boob,
caught one. You caught
one
something.
boob, one boob.
Yeah, let's see what.
What about
Jennifer says? Candyman.
You know what? Actually, it's really
Nightmare on Elm
messed up.
Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street was great.
Susie Dunn says it.
What's
Susie Dunn is back.
Back in black.
Oh, good to see you, Susie.
Ted, what's up, Ted? He says Carrie. Yeah, that's a
Carrie's-
pretty good one
that
too.
was definitely.
Christopher Hughes said something in here, but I don't know where it went.
Facebook user said, I saw Rocky Horror at Tiffany's in Hollywood at 2 a.m. several times. What's Tiffany's in Hollywood? I guess it's a famous...
I don't know what Tiffany's was. That was before me, but even the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I've never seen it in person. I always wanted to go see it in a theater because it was just like a crazy party or whatever. But yeah, Sears catalog HVAC teacher, 100%, bro. Like 100%, dude. JC Penney's. I mean, when you were
Sears catalog.
I used to try to get those, teenager magazines at the time, like Cosmopolitan. Like we had that.
I didn't care about those, dude.
No, didn't care at all. No,
I
wanted Sears catalogs all day long, man.
Yep.
Eden's, yeah.
Dude, I remember one time when I was a kid, I was doing my paper route and I found a Playboy, dude. It was like I found a gold bar, man.
Coveted that, huh?
Dude, I threw all my papers right in the trash and I threw that in there. I rode home as fast as I could. I'm like, fuck this job.
Like my tummy
hurts. Clear my schedule for the next 2 weeks. I got a Playboy to go through.
Oh my god!
It was kind of destroyed, but
guaranteed I'm going to be blind.
Yeah. Next day, I was walking around with a white cane. Like, I can't see.
No, Jennifer, 100%. Tales from the Crypt. That one did scare me as a kid. Tales from the Crypt scared the crap out of me.
That's a good one.
Yes, 100%. And then the Tales from the Crypt movie.
I
kept rewinding that and rewinding that and rewinding that. So
I have never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, we should watch it together, Bill. Oh, Adam, dude, we should all watch it together.
That doesn't sound appealing.
It does, dude. Meatloaf's in that, bro. Like Meatloaf, he sings and everything.
So, are we gonna do that? We could do that on YouTube. We could watch it together with everyone and just sit here
and have a reaction to it. Yeah, reaction video.
Let's do it. Reaction.
It's a good Saturday night hangout, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do that tomorrow. We'll watch Rocky Horror Picture Show.
What was that? Did you guys ever watch that show?
Do it after the Misfits show.
What was that thing? Was it on not MTV? What was it? The Mystery Theater?
Mystery Science Theater?
Yeah, where those guys are sitting in front and they just talk through.
Oh, yeah, yep. I love that show, too.
Yep.
Tom Servo, Crow Magnum.
Oh, the names.
The chat.
Anyways, enough of this movie talk. It gets boring.
Why?
Yeah, let's get into some real thick
look,
shit.
Yeah, thanks.
Just saying we should do reaction stuff. Actually, we have talked about in the past doing reaction videos to other HVAC YouTube videos.
I just feel like it sounds great on paper, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I know
you make enemies pretty quick.
Yeah,
like if we ever do that, the very first video is going to be our go-to guy. What's his nuts? TXV Master.
Oh, I'm not.
You know,
funny story. I saw a comment somebody commented on something Ty said in Facebook about Ty said something about using Nylog. And somebody said, "Screw Nylog. If you have a leak or whatever else, you use Leak Lock." And that started another discussion. Ty just answered with like a bunch of laughy faces.
Oh,
well, I mean,
do people have we show like I'm?
It's it doesn't really seal anything, right? Like,
what's that? Leak Lock?
Leak Lock. Like,
no, Leak Lock
actually the biggest deal is like you're creating a possibility to introduce some crazy blue Smurf crap into the
when you put it on that. But I always use Leak Lock. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess it does harden over time, but
okay, let's put it this way. I used Leak Lock for the first half of my career and never had a problem with it. Never. Okay. But as time goes on, and my next topic, which this kind of segues into it, as the lack of motivation, dedication to the trade gets lower and lower and lower, we need to stop using things that are a dead giveaway to contaminate the system. And we need to be using things like Nylog, because if some idiot does squirt it in the line, it's not a big deal. Leak Lock is going to cause problems.
But does Nylog actually prevent leaks? It's just a thread lubricant.
It's a thread lubricant. It just fills a void, and there's all that it really does. So Dustin Cole says put leak lock on crackers. So the funny thing is we called leak lock blue death because it would be the death of you by the time you're done. It ends up in your nose, in your ear, and everything because that blue shit gets on your fingers.
And then the yellow stuff, the gold.
Oh yeah, no.
Speaking of put it on your cracker, I'm wondering if Dustin Cole or Chris Hughes, you guys ever see that guy on TikTok or YouTube or whatever that put on your cracker guy? Let's get it, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nope. Don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Cajun guy barbecuing and that. I can't remember.
What is his name? He's hilarious too. He's like, he's got a blonde haired mullet, and he's just he's freaking hilarious.
And like when he's like, we gotta hydrate before we. What does he say? We hydrate before something. But he has this eagle with an American flag on his back, and he'll take a drink of beer out of the eagle's ass before he starts barbecuing.
Yeah,
and he throws it across the room.
He's actually pretty funny. Yeah. He's a social media entertainer.
Stale cracker.
Stale cracker.
No, I have to keep a lookout for that.
So I use leak lock. I mean, I don't anymore, but I did. And if it's used right, it works good. But it's not a lubricant. It's a thread sealer. Another bad thing that happens with the leak lock, if you use it when it gets hard, and then you go to work on the system, if you're not careful, it'll cut you like a paper cut, and it hurts like hell when it's hard. And then you take a flare nut off, and then you're like cleaning the crap off the flares. If you use your fingers, it'll cut you. That shit gets sharp. It's weird, random crap.
And I was working on a Sando Bendo open air case the other day, and this thing, it's kind of weird. It's got two receivers directly in line with each other, and I've never seen a system like that before. Not sure why they have to have two receivers. I'm guessing volume, and it's everything's underneath the unit, so it's very limited amount of space. So that's why I'm guessing they have two. I don't really know. But each one of those receivers had, I guess, a king valve on it. And let's see, there's a king valve, there's a suction valve on the rotolock. There was, in the back of the condenser, there was a service valve for the high and the low side. So there was like 5 or 6 valves on this whole thing, and they all sort of leaked a little tiny bit. And I just leak locked all the caps on, and I don't know, like, what am I going to do? Like, repipe everything, cut all those out, repipe it, put in service ports.
So am I reading this correctly? That Cajun dude used to be a cop, and he got into an accident. Everybody's saying in the chat right now, he got into a shitload of trouble. He was a state trooper.
He was drunk.
Yeah. And then he started a social media thing. He's probably making more money with social media than he was as sheriff.
Well, as soon as that gets out, he'll be canceled.
Yeah. He's from the South. He'll
be more popular once that
he'll be more popular, dude. They don't freak out like the rest of the country. But so I posted a couple short form content videos in the last couple weeks, and I gotta say that like some of them are getting bigger than I ever really wanted them to. And
you hit 1 million views on one within like a couple days.
Yeah, like a TikTok, like within 5 days, which has never happened before.
Pretty sure that means it's viral.
I think it has to hit. And honestly, for something to be viral, I think you got to hit 1 million in like 1 day or something. But
come on.
Anyways, one thing that I noticed from it is the amount of comments that I'm getting. And so that particular video was one where I was taking a circuit tracer, and I hooked up a circuit tracer to an exhaust fan, and I was trying to find a circuit breaker. And then I showed in the video that the circuit tracers aren't always accurate. And, the funny thing is that a lot of people are like, you didn't use it right. I did. It's just you only have 60 seconds. I have to edit it down. But anyways, one thing that I'm frustrated about.
Just arc it out, bro.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. One thing that I'm frustrated about is how many people were just downright pissed off at me because I didn't just short it to ground. Whatever works for you is fine, but that's just not how I roll with all the new sensitive equipment. With people grabbing neutrals and sharing neutrals for different 115 volt equipment.
Well, not only that, sometimes you see like somebody splitting off another breaker or whatever else. It might not be the properly the proper amperage on the breaker.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things like me personally, from experience, years ago
got a case of the Gickle guts.
Yeah, years ago I blew a main.
Man.
God,
did I hear that right?
On topic. Jeez, man-made.
So I had a grounded compressor. This was before I knew better, and I kept changing the fuses, and it just kept blowing the fuse. Kept ruining the fuse. I got to rephrase myself around Bill. And so eventually what it did, was it tripped the main, and then the main wouldn't reset, and it was a 480 volt main, and it was a Friday night, and that golf course went without power for half the building for the rest of the weekend. So after that, and I've heard other stories about people trying to trip a breaker by shorting a wire to ground and then the breaker not tripping, like, yeah, not my style. I'm not into that. So, but the interesting thing is how many people in the industry, not just with that post, but with another post too, where I posted about staying productive. And while I was waiting for someone to bring me a compressor, I made a short saying, hey, you know what? I'm moving, I'm sanding everything, I'm removing, I'm not just sitting waiting. Oh my gosh, the hate I got for that.
Yeah, just being efficient. Like, that's all you're doing. You're just being efficient.
People are so mad because you must be an owner. It's like, what does it mean I'm an owner? Like, who cares if I'm an owner? I've always been this way. Efficient. I'm trying to stay efficient.
And see, like, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tirade. For one, Brett and Kevin had an episode where they dove into this a little bit deeper into their world. Like, the whole idea of just staying efficient. But that's just a shout out to Brett the Wet Pretzel. He's in the chat tonight.
Oh, I like that. Brett the Wet Pretzel. That's
Brett the Wet Pretzel. He's in the chat tonight there. But all that just to say, like, that whole ideology. I can't say that word. Somebody say it for me in the chat. Ideology. That's the one. Like, that, just the idea of, like, I don't want to be productive at work. Like, that, I assume it stems into it seeps into their entire life, their entire lifestyle. Like, when they get home, they don't want to do extra stuff to be good at whatever it is they want to do. They don't want to do extra stuff to be better at life. They don't want to do extra stuff to increase their quality of life.
Yeah. And look, like, I can imagine that a lot of their argument is, I don't get paid enough to be that efficient, or my boss sucks, or they're just going to find something else for me to do if I get this job done too fast. And those are some of the comments that I got. But guess what? If you live your life that lazy, and if you're that miserable at work, find a new fucking job.
Yeah. Or reframe that. Like,
if you don't like HVAC, get the fuck out and find something different. Like, and I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm saying that, like, you deserve to be happy. And if you're not happy with what you're doing and what you're working on every day, move the fuck on. Like, find something that makes you happy. We
had an apprentice once who was very, very unhappy working here, and he came over HVAC side and was doing hot side. Yeah, I could tell he was miserable, and I told him, like, dude, you get one career, basically. I was like, don't spend it doing something you're not happy with. Go do something you like, man. Like, get into it, dive into it, take it, like, go all the way with it, 100%.
And something, and Chris, that's a very nice comment. Chris was saying, just let that shit roll off your back. And I have to say this so many times.
Probably
when
Chris
I address
things in the chat too.
When I address things like on my live streams or here, it's not because I'm offended from people's comments. Like, I don't give a shit what you comment. And the funny thing, a lot of the times when people are real assholes, I just tell them, thank you for commenting because you're helping me to get more popular. Like, that's all that I say. Every engagement you have, like, if you have trolls on social media, they're helping you. Like, I don't let that shit get to me. But people watch these videos and listen to the show and they hear our stories. And the whole point I'm trying to say is like, find something new if you're not happy, if your life is that miserable. But the other takeaway I get from this is how doomed our industry is. Like, I hate 100%. To be gloomy all the time, but goddamn, like, and then the electrician side too, how doomed they are, because I can't tell you how many electricians told me, just short it to ground, you'll be fine. But what if you aren't? The one time you're not, you're going to regret it. And why even take the risk?
Going back to what you said a little bit ago, Chris, about like, they don't get paid enough to be efficient. I hate my boss. They might give me something else to do after this. Like, I simply take that and I just reframe it. Like, so what if they do give you something else to do after this? You have another opportunity to learn maybe something you didn't know before. You're going to get more experience on the next job. You're going to be a better technician after that next job. I mean, if you don't like where you work, then the best way to do that is get really, really good at your job, and then walk into any other place, because everybody's hiring. You can find any place, walk in there, tell them what you want to get paid. Chances are you're going to get it if you're good at what you do.
If you are and I hate to say this because I'm a business owner and I don't want any of my employees to do this way, but I mean, let's be smart about being dumb at a job, if that makes sense. If you don't like a job, use that job to gain knowledge, make yourself a better technician, then move on to something that pays better. Like, use it as a stepping stone.
Yeah, but if that job isn't going to pay you once you get better, like, once you increase your skills, you go to your boss and say, hey man, look, I have increased my productivity. I'm a better technician. My callback rate, like, all these things, like, present it to your boss. If he doesn't notice himself, which a good boss should notice and give you a raise based on performance. But If he doesn't notice, let him know. And then if he's still like, well, yeah, but you suck and I don't like you, then find some other place to work.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of people too, because Hamilton's talking about it right now. I was using a cheap ass circuit tracer. It was like some chintzy little Klein one that, you know, wasn't high quality. And I knew that because I don't ever use those things. It's very rare that I have to find a breaker like that. So I'm not going to go buy a big one, but you know, whatever. But I want the industry. I don't know why I want it, because, you know, what is it my problem? But like, I want the industry to get better. I want people to be more passionate about their jobs. I want people to care, you know, because
I mean, some people will get there on their own and some people just, there's no hope.
Well,
you know, exactly. No hope.
I want the industry to get better because I get better when the people around me get better. That's why I try to surround myself with people better and smarter than me. Just by proxy, I'm going to hopefully eventually I'll either get better or I'll get ridiculed to the point where I need to try to get better. Like when Adam was making fun of me the other day because he says I lost my curiosity. So now I'm like, well, shit, I got that to deal with all week now.
So Chris is asking, how does the technician prove that he wants to learn, that he's done well, if the owner doesn't have a metric to track it? And that is a good question, Chris. With a small company, it's very easy because, you know, I have a small company. We're 4 trucks, including my own. So I know when someone's doing well, and I know everything that everybody's doing, and I know how well they're doing. The bigger and how long it takes, the harder it is to control technicians.
I agree.
You know, and so, yeah, with big companies, you do need those softwares. You need those fancy softwares that cost companies thousands and thousands of dollars every month, you know, because they track performance and, you know, closing rates and all that crap.
I feel like, honestly, in today's day and age where you either you got a team full of rock stars, which is rare, it's going to be harder to stand out there. But I think a majority of the companies, like, it's like 50-50 or maybe even like 70-30, 60-40. I don't know, of like good experienced technicians versus like, I don't want to say idiots, but unexperienced technicians, really. So I think I don't think it would really take much to stand out anymore. I think you can study, you know, start to learn some lingo.
That's what, like, Chris, me and you have talked about this in the past. I think all 4 of us have. Like, you know, I think that me personally, I just think I'm average at best. You know?
I think I'm average at best too. I mean, I genuinely do. I know there's people better than me. Like, there's much better.
100%.
100%. Yeah. You know, I just happen to have a platform so people can see what I do. You know, other people don't necessarily have that platform, but I know there's rock star technicians that are a million.
Leon in the house.
You know,
that guy's awesome.
There was another.
We just think he's awesome based on his name. He could be a total douche nozzle,
pretty much.
But based on your name, yeah, you're awesome.
So today, actually, this morning and yesterday morning, I started at the same restaurant, and usually get there before the restaurants. So I'm, you know, because I'm an early person, I can't handle being late. So I'll get there half hour before the restaurant. I'm just drinking my coffee, scrolling through social media, and the trash man comes to, you know, dump their trash dumpsters. And so he comes, and I watched him 2 days in a row. He pulls up to this restaurant. Their dumpsters are out behind the restaurant, and they've got 2 guys in the trash truck. He doesn't get out of his truck. He drives up. He takes the giant hydraulic fork on the front of the trash truck for the dumpsters, pushes down on the dumpster, and drags the dumpster back straight. Then lets go, gets in, drives his forks in, dumps it, then pushes the dumpster back.
Yeah.
One of those dumpsters has a hole from his forks through the middle of it. Okay. But then both the dumpsters are missing wheels. They're literally dragging on the ground. And when I watched him do that 2 times, I'm watching that hydraulic thing push down on the trash can so he can drag it. And it's like, it's not just our industry. It's everywhere. There's 2 freaking trash.
People just don't care.
Dude, in my area, trash dudes, they get paid serious money. They get very well paid, like very, very well paid, dude. They can make $35-$40 an hour as a trash man, dude. Like good money and benefits.
My
and
brother's
everything.
A trash dude. He gets
they
paid
don't
pretty
even
well.
get out of the freaking truck. And it's like, dude, now this was one particular guy. I know there's a lot of hardworking guys out there, but it's not just our trade.
Back in my day, they used to call them garbage men.
Yeah,
garbage man, trash
it's funny because, like Chris, like you said, like it's every industry. Like me and my brother talk about this, and we basically trade stories that are very similar. You know, like the things we run into, the things we see in the HVAC industry, refrigeration, like dumb shit that we run across. And he'll tell me like some of the dumb shit like his coworkers are doing. And it's like, yeah, man, idiots are everywhere.
Chris, this is a great point. He says he thinks lots of small owners take overachievers for granted. No metrics, easy to lose track on who is climbing. Not always. You know what, Chris, you are right, because I've told the story many times that about 10, I don't know, a while back, I lost a bunch of employees, like before YouTube. And that was what started my videos, was because basically for all different reasons, we had 4 people leave our company at the same time, like within short periods of time. And honestly, yeah, we were just lost in the business, and we weren't paying attention to their needs. And, you know, all those people, they left, and I communicate with all of them now. And, you know, there was lots of things we could have done. There was attitudes that they had. It was on both parts, but yeah, I guess it is easy for anybody to lose track of what's going on, for sure.
And I think, at least from what I've seen from a 10,000 foot view, not necessarily in my situation, but a lot of like the overachievers, the good, like the go-to guys, they get sort of pushed into all the other situations that, you know, rather than make everybody else do what they should be doing in the first place.
Yes.
You know, just have the go-to guy do it. Just send him out there. He'll clean the shit up. Or
which that ends up like creating like
resentment and
tons
burnout
on that guy. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just nuts. So it is everywhere. You know, I mentioned recently, and I don't want to go all negative on everything, but I mean, that's just the topic we're talking about. But I mentioned recently how bad the drivers are since COVID. Since COVID, I'm sorry, the roads and the drivers are hideous. Nobody used turn signals. Nobody, you know, people just weave in and out of traffic just like idiots. They don't even hit their brakes half the time. And it's sad, because I'm not I don't speed very much. Like, you know, I just kind of have like a cruise control in my head, and I usually get in like the second lane. I don't get in the fast lane all the time. And I usually just park it at 70, 75 when I'm on the main highway, and I'm just in my zone, and people are flying around me, you know, and they're just being jerks. And what was it in the state of California right now? You know, we have all of our own problems, but a lot of the auto insurance companies, they're backing out of California because
I address this real quick, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Liza Raga.
I was just talking to him in chat.
Yeah, so Joe doesn't participate because he didn't buy enough qubits to participate.
Thank you
So
very
once
much.
he does, he will be allowed to participate. Shout out to Bergman.
I ran out.
Hashtag blum dumping.
Joe doesn't like talking about anything that he doesn't want to talk about. So that's why Joe doesn't participate.
He hates us. He hates.
Speaking of Cupid, did you guys see that my first YouTube video I participated in freaking forever?
That was awesome too.
That was awesome.
It was really
awkward.
Chris made me tuck my shirt in. I was pissed off about that, and he's like, "You got to work with your hand."
Tuck your shirt in.
I didn't know what to do with my. You see that? What was that? Talladega Nights, where he's like, "I don't know what to do with my hand,"
and his hands just kept creeping up into the thing.
See, and that's where like AC service tech, like he's got that down to a science. Like he can. You don't even have to. I think you could watch just one of his videos on just with no sound, just based off his hand movements. Like you could tell what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's Italian, so he likes using his hands, right?
Did you guys see there was like I don't know if it was TikTok or Instagram, whatever. It was short form content. It was a sister or something like that, and her mom. No, it was a daughter, and her mom was getting surgery or something, and so the daughter came in. And she used one of those little hands like Ty uses in his videos. And she tucked her arm into her thing. And then her mom got wrist surgery. And she's like, yeah, last minute, they had to take my hand. And her mom was like all sedated. So she's all confused.
She said, I transplanted my hand because yours is going to work.
That was pretty funny.
Did that for me? She's like, why is yours so small? That's all they had.
I think we all need to get little Ty hands so we can.
Yeah, Chris Hughes did an awesome job on that video, bringing it back one last time. That's an ACA standard 310 video. You guys should check it out.
Put the link in chat.
I sent that. I sent the link of that video to that lady I emailed, because I had a lady email me, like a friend of a friend asked me about her new production home and how her house wasn't working right and stuff. And I sent her this lengthy email of how she wants to hire an outside contractor because the builder can't fix the problem with her home or something like that. And I was like, you need to hire an outside contractor. You need to make sure that it's not free estimates. You need to make sure the contractor knows that you're probably not going to go with them. You're just using their information they're going to give you for data to go after the builder. But then I told her, look at this 310 video, and your contractor should perform this when he's done fixing everything to make sure that your system is up to par.
Yep.
So,
You know, me and Dustin Cole had a conversation a while back, and we had a business idea because there's so many houses that are being built with these track home builders, you know, where people have major issues like comfort problems, mold
are you
problems.
sure you want to share this idea before someone takes it?
They could take it. I think it would be awesome. I think a bunch of people should do this, but we were going to call it Robin Hood HVAC. And basically we were going to offer our services to go around and consult for people. And, you know, we'll figure your crap out for you.
Hold on, let's stop. Joe wants us to post the ACA video. He put it in the private chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can just go grab the ACA video, Joe.
What a douche.
Douche.
But I'm glad, you know what? If that's what makes Bill for them to read us, we'll do it like that. I'm gonna put everything in the private chat. All right.
It's so bright.
Chris,
up today.
I haven't watched that video yet. So that's on your channel, Adam?
No, it's on the ACA channel.
Okay.
It says, Chris, can you talk a little bit about R290?
Oh, this in the A2Ls.
I don't want to talk about A2Ls. All I need to say about A2Ls is you're not going to be putting A2Ls in your existing systems, so stop freaking out.
All you need to know about an R290 is it's basically a direct replacement. 404, R12, R22, 130. You can drop it in all those.
Shut up. No, you can't.
If you need to leak test it, use a lighter. That's the best way to do it. Don't do anything what I just said.
As far as the R290 stuff, there's not a whole lot that hasn't been said about R290. It's a flammable refrigerant. You have to be smart when you use it. I work with it for the last 3 years all the time. It's nothing like, just follow some basic safety practices. Purge with nitrogen before you braze. Cut as many components out. But even that, I have to unsweat components all the time. Just be smart. Have fire extinguishers. Have wet towels, and be in well ventilated
like
areas.
The only difference is you don't need to recover. Like that's literally the only difference.
Yep.
Aren't you not supposed to unsweat things though? Isn't that like
No, I mean, okay, so sometimes you have to. See, look, there's what's in the, safety schools, and there's what's practical, right? So when you go through R290 training, there's no law
when your
that says
system's
you have
this
to be
big,
trained.
you can't cut out everything.
You can't cut components out. If you're changing a dryer and the dryer's this big and there's no extra room, you have no room to cut that dryer out.
Yeah.
So when something like that happens, you guys get like a flame ball shoot out at your face. When you react to it, do you like give out a yelp in a girl's voice?
Oh yeah.
So I stand up and I just run around with my torch in one hand and just run, just blindly. I just run.
Like the without even me doing it, it's just like, "Hi, puppy," comes out every time.
Wow.
Puppy.
Wow, that's an interesting one. Okay.
No, but there really isn't much of a flame out, because one of the safety precautions with R290, which isn't different than normal systems, because if you follow basic refrigeration practices, you're always supposed to sweep and purge with nitrogen, even non-R290 systems, but we don't, because we've gotten complacent, right?
Yeah.
So before you work on an R290 system, you're supposed to sweep the entire system with nitrogen to try to help remove any pockets of flammable vapor. It doesn't always remove every pocket. Surprisingly, I've got it on video where you sweep a system and then you take a compressor out and you take the torch, and it still is like a lighter coming out the refrigeration line. So A2L is not that flammable, mildly flammable. Class 3 is worse. Yeah.
L stands for low flammability.
Yep.
If that matters.
So I don't want to downplay that. I mean, it's just they're seriously preaching so much A2L stuff, and like, I don't know. I guess maybe it is warranted, because we were just talking about how lazy a good majority of the industry is getting, but whatever.
Hey, tomorrow night, Misfits of HVAC on
100%.
9 p.m.
That is
And
right.
then we
Usement.
will completely get the HVAC Overtime YouTube channel demonetized and ruined, because we're going to be streaming the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and we're all going to be watching it together.
Yes.
That's probably not going to happen, but we just
I think we should do it.
Hey, if I have a good day tomorrow, I'm on call. So as long as I don't have to work and I'm home all day, I'm down, bro.
Guys, Chris Hughes last Saturday, he ran a half marathon, right? I'm not running. I'm still kind of fat, but I walked a half marathon. By me.
How long is a half marathon?
13.1 miles.
Damn, that's a half a marathon?
Yeah.
Jeez, bro.
So I walked that last Saturday, and I thought I was gonna die. There was a couple times because I was walking through the woods. I'm gonna lay down and just die. It's I don't have a choice.
Man, I walked like 9 miles. That's the most I've walked in a day, and that was like broken up over time. Like and I didn't run at all.
No, I didn't run.
If you chased me with a gun, I don't think I'd run.
Yeah.
Mike B, this show is monetized, but I think we make like $4 a month. So.
No, Adam makes like $4 a month.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Adam steals all of our money.
I
That's right.
steal the money.
Look at, I mean, dude stays in a hotel every single Friday. Look at that.
That's right. Look at he's got like accent lighting and stuff. If you guys didn't know, Adam's big about lighting. I bet you anything Adam yells at his wife if the dressers get moved even an inch and like the light.
As you can see, it's actually quite a mess. I have a stack of books, right?
Let's get this straight over there.
Here, there's a stack of
Rain
books
Man.
here. There's another stack of books in this
There we
slot
go.
right here. And then I have another stack of books over here. Usually I try to keep these tables clean, but I've been doing some homework this week.
Oh
So
no,
You
nasty.
lay in bed and read? Like, why are they over
Nasty.
there by the bed?
that's what I do.
How do you lay in bed and
Reason, man.
read, man?
It's
Anthony's
else do you?
asking, what did they end up doing with that York unit in my video from like 2 weeks ago? That video was shot last summer. Secret spoiler alert. So it's still running and it's still there.
What's up, Clive?
oh, there he is.
I miss Clive.
Big Clive. We
Yeah.
should have him on soon, huh? It's been a while.
He posted a video. I was ready to watch it,
Yes.
and then had to leave.
Which Clive's doing his live stream tomorrow. Well, it's 4 p.m.
Yes.
my time. I don't know what time. Whoever's watching there, I'm sure it'll show up in your YouTube algorithm. But yeah, go watch Big Clive. 4 p.m. Eastern. It's like super late his time, but it's always a great show. I haven't been able to even show up in Clive's stream in so long, dude. I feel so bad about that because Clive really does put on an awesome time.
He does.
It's just like hanging out with like some giant fur bear at the bar. Like it's just like it's a fun time.
He's like a guy you want to hang out with, you know?
Yeah.
He's cool.
for sure. And there's actually a good community of people in there, a lot of regulars too.
I saw on
People in
Facebook
there.
or something, he was traveling, I guess. And I saw him having a beer with a couple people. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. You know, where does he go to? Glasgow or something?
Glasgow.
Glasgow, like a cow. but made of glass.
Glasgow.
Oh, only 1 hour streams
Only
at the
1 hour
moment.
streams.
No, they used to be like 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You guys ever
That-
notice?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You guys ever notice? Like, I don't know if it does it for you, but do you guys notice you get service calls like in waves?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I'll get a lot of exhaust fan service calls. Right now,
Yeah,
I
like
have
this.
quotes out for like
I'll
5
post it.
exhaust fans.
Why
Yep.
is that?
I don't know. I get
Like
ice
people-
machine calls in waves too.
Yeah, where it's
I
like
won't-
very similar problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that with a lot of times that happens with boilers. Like I won't touch a boiler for 2 months and then I'll have like 5 freaking boiler calls and 2 boiler replacements within 2 weeks.
I don't understand. Right now,
It's
it's
talking to
just
you, Joe.
exhaust fans. And for me, because I make content, what I end up doing is I'll film 5 exhaust fan videos, but then I don't post them. I'll wait a year. You know, like I'll post 1 or 2 and then I wait and then I sit on them and I post them later because I don't like back to back same videos all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Jennifer, Clive is a huge YouTuber in more ways than one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
He's
posted
like
his channel in
7'9".
7'9".
Usually has a big old beard.
Yep. And he's got like a 1 million followers or something.
A bajillion. I think it's officially up to a bajillion.
Yep.
Let's see. Clive currently is at 982,000 subscribers right now
Getting
on his
there.
main channel.
He's got 2 channels, BigClive.com and Big Clive Live. BigClive.com is more like he takes crap apart, blows stuff up.
Reverse engineers it.
Yep.
and destroys it. And if at all possible, he will try to use whatever it is he's taking apart to cook hot dogs.
I'm very interested by this video that popped up right now called the Poundland Vertical Access Wind Turbine.
Oh yeah, he just posted out. That's
Poundland.
what I want
That
to
is
watch.
a very interesting name.
Yeah.
Poundland.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. There's a store called Poundland.
Yeah.
I think that's near that truck stop you stopped by.
Actually, I
I
think
was gonna
Clive is the one
say,
that
yeah.
told me about that Poundland. Yeah. It's an actual store, you guys. Don't be
Oh
so
he's
my
insecure.
live. He's live tomorrow, Jennifer.
100%. Clive is an awesome
Twitch.
dude for sure.
Just gave me a
Big
great
Clive
idea.
Live on YouTube. Big Clive
Yeah,
Live.
I posted in the chat. And
Did you
nasty.
see?
Sorry, one second. Nasty HVACR was putting his steps in chat, guys. All I see from Bill and Adam lately, I did 9,000 steps. I did 8,000 steps. Like, what are
Bam.
these? Like, come on,
Right in
Is
your
that even
face.
doing- is
It's
that
I
even
called
know.
work?
walking, Joe.
What are you talking about? 9,000. I do that before 8 o'clock in the morning, Joe.
Yeah, I'm usually about that.
Yo, okay, okay.
See,
Oh,
look at this.
did you see in the Poundland does sell sex toys?
So Clive just gave me a great idea. So what if we all pulled our money together and we created a truck stop called Poundland, and we had like bunk beds, and we sold leather and chains, and we had like a trampoline that was just covered
Can
in
you
grease.
rent by the hour? Can you rent the bunk beds by the hour? Because I think that's the only
Sure.
way they would sell.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could have a vending machine full of lot lizards, and they just like pop out.
This sounds like a Japanese vending machine store.
That's a great idea.
Did you see earlier someone said that your new YouTube channel should be By Curious Truck Stop Follies?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Which I will be doing none of the fondling. I will just
think
be
you'll be doing it all.
investigating it.
Freon Leon. That's got to be one of my favorite. The only name that rivals Freon Leon is Heat Exchanger Breath, and I don't know what happened to that guy.
That's not
No,
right.
that guy Tom
Yeah.
still is up there, dude. You know what? We need to dig into the archive footage and
Whatever
show some
happened?
that guy Tom stuff.
Yeah,
Good luck finding that.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
on
true
Chop
too.
Talk?
We could find could Chat GPT find it for us?
Is that on Shop Talk?
No, I don't know.
No, I don't think
no?
so.
Here.
Yeah,
We'll
that was
have to
here
find that.
early
So-
on.
Speaking of which, now we can make Joe mad. What do you guys think in the chat? We've been talking, throwing the idea back and forth. Should we invite? I don't know if he's gonna want to come on, but
Uh-oh.
Zach Ciota, what do you think?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Joe? I think the internet went down.
He's fake frozen right now. He's still
I'm gonna-
moving, but he's
I'm
fake
gonna go-
frozen.
I see the screen moving in his glasses.
I'm gonna go reset my modem.
His glasses are fogging up at the moment. His glasses were fogging up. His face is turning red.
I tried to give a Frank froze. Did you guys see that? Oh my god! Anyway.
We
I
got-
say let's have Zach on.
Breon Leon says yes. Brian Sanders says yes. Zach E, which might be Zach Ciota, said yes.
No, he's not. I know that.
Oh, he said, heck yeah. Zach Ciota doesn't talk like that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't know. See, I have no problem with Zach Ciota whatsoever. I like him. I had plenty of conversations with him back in the day. But like the thing is what are we going to talk about?
I think we should just cut right to the chase and be like, let's get our feelings on the table and let's hash out our differences on the show.
I say
But-
we do it.
What differences do we have?
Well,
I
we
know.
really don't. I don't have any differences, but I
Neither
think
do I.
let's let bygones be bygones and talk through our past.
I think
I
we just did
100%
that.
agree.
So we're good on that now. We just let bygones be bygones.
Well,
We should all like be friends again. We could do like hangouts and stuff like we used to do.
Well, I mean,
you know what Ted used to call us. We could ask. Ted used to call us our hand holding group.
Hand holding
Oh,
group.
yeah.
We could get the fifth member of our hand holding group back together.
Speaking of,
Freon Leon says we can pray it out.
yeah, we'll try that.
I say
Speaking
we
of-
have him on. I say we reach out to Zach. Zach, if you're watching, someone that's on here, reach out to Zach.
You guys should, reach out to
Everybody
Zach.
reach out. Seriously, tell him we're not joking. We do
Hey.
want to like extend an olive branch.
Like I
We
said, like,
wanna-
I'm on board with it, but like I don't know. You guys are talking like we have this like feud going on with Zach, and like it's just
No,
we do secretly, but but I'm like, I don't know. Like, what are we going to talk about?
I mean
We're
it doesn't
just
have
gonna-
to be an hour-long show. We
we
could
just
just
have him on for 15 minutes. We
Yeah.
can just,
That never
Just-
happens.
well, then we'll have him on for an hour. I don't care. He can talk. We can talk about Ryobi drills and we can talk about Harbor
That's
Freight
what I'm
drills.
talking
and-
about.
Zach
I'm
has
putting my vacation
he'll
time
come up
in.
with things, right? We can
Put my
talk about
vacation
Cooper
time.
Hunter. Huh?
We can talk about what?
Vacation time's going in today.
We need to get some more tips on how to
Vacation
get
time.
sponsors for this channel. And I think Zach has sponsors, so we
Hey.
should talk to him.
How do we not have sponsors? Like
That's
we
what I'm
should be more-
saying.
we should be more productive on that. We just slack.
It's because we tell everybody to fuck off.
That's
Yeah, I know.
true.
We do.
And
Pretty much.
I kind of like the idea of not being tied down to any one thing or one person.
I do. I agree. Because
You know,
bought and paid for.
I don't want to be bought and paid for.
Hello? Oh, there's the bleep button. We can work with that.
Unless Christopher Hughes and Steve Rogers are listening.
Speaking of boilers, Adam, I think I'm gonna have to clean out my one and who knows how many
Look at
NTI
Jennifer
boilers.
even says she has sponsors.
Who?
Jennifer.
Sorry to say, Jennifer, but you know what? When you're a female, I'm sorry to say, but it's easy to get sponsors. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hi, I'm a female in the trade. Okay, here's my sponsors.
Our dumbass, ignorant Canadian friend, because don't listen to anything he's saying.
I see it everywhere, but hey, you can ignore it. But I see it.
I mean, how do you explain? What's his name?
I'm not saying anything's bad. I'm just saying.
How do you explain the Canadian Wilford Brimley?
It's rare and it just helps. I don't know. I'm not saying
we were even smart enough not to laugh at Joe's comment. We were
Gary McCready. He's got 27 minutes worth of sponsors at every podcast that he does. Like, how does he get all that? He doesn't have tits and nice ass.
Leave it to Bill. This is just going off the rails right now.
I mean, if he did,
we should have Gary. We should have him. Let's have Gary on and ask. I mean, let's be honest.
Nasty.
We've had opportunities. We've had opportunities. We don't pursue them.
That's true.
The one opportunity that we actually did have, Joe was in charge of talking to him, and he asked him for like $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then
hey, you gotta go big or go home. Nice.
And we went home.
We did go home.
Yeah.
And where are you at? You're at home and you live alone and you're by yourself all the time, Joe.
But I'm fine with that.
You know, like I will say, like it would be kind of cool to have a sponsor, but at the same time, since everybody has sponsors, it kind of takes away the
well, you don't want to have the same ones. That's something that I have to deal with all the time. I have those insecurities where it's like I don't want to have all the same.
We have friends. We have friends. We have true friends. We have people
that friends. Yeah,
they care about us. They'll answer the phone when we call them.
Exactly.
They're far greater than sponsors.
Hey, we might be poor, but we stick to our guns.
I think that came out wrong.
No shit, Joe.
That's what she said.
I didn't mean it like that. Oh my god!
And we knew that when you said it, bro.
The women of HVAC, if you want to send me a shirt, I'll wear it. I do not agree.
I got one in the other room.
No, I agree. I would wear it too. I'm just saying.
You would not. You woman.
I'm glad that the chat supports us distancing ourselves from Joe and just letting Joe bury his own.
See, now Joe has to go to one of them treatment programs for sexual battery or something.
I didn't think you're allowed to talk like that in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think you know what, guys. I think the smoke's getting to him. That's what
the Prime Minister at?
That's what it is, guys. Look, and it came from New York, and it just blasted us in the face. And I'm delusional.
It came from New York. Are you a dum dum? It did not come from
your
New
backyard.
It did a loop de loop.
The fire?
The smoke.
Yeah, but it came from Canada. It blew to New York, and then it blew back.
It came back. Yeah, it came back.
We still got Trevor as a friend, guys.
See, Trevor's our friend. He's our kind Canadian person that doesn't say inappropriate comments.
He's a true Canadian.
Females. Like Joe, have you ever flown to California and handed me a T-shirt? Because Trevor has. Trevor has.
Well, you know, Trevor's trying to buy my spot. That's what it is, Trevor. Okay.
You know what we should do?
Oh, did Trevor, did you want Joe's spot? Because I'll make it happen, bro.
We had
make some phone calls.
He's the opposite of Joe. He's the opposite of Joe. Trevor is like, he's the guy with a smile on his face, very, very positive.
You know, I feel like it could go two ways. Like, I love Trevor, right? He's a super awesome guy. But if Trevor was on here like week after week being super positive and like, it would either change me and I would become super positive, or I would go in the opposite direction and I would just loathe his ultra positivity. Either way, I don't know. It could go either way.
I don't know. There's a couple people like that, and I really respect him. Trevor's one. Ty's another one. Ty, I don't think I've ever seen a Ty without a smile on his face. TY Banana, which he hasn't been around too much recently.
Yeah, TY Banana. Christopher
is
Hughes,
traveling the country with Perla right now, all over the place. They're doing their whole nomad thing. It's freaking awesome to watch it on social media.
Speaking of Christopher Hughes, I know we talked about this before, and we should revisit the idea. We need to talk with Steve, Chris, and Bill from the Energy Conservatory. I think we should do some type of a collaboration shirt. You know.
Oh, we've always talked about that.
I've been throwing the idea out there, and Christopher Hughes gave me like their logo, I think, but their logo is super weird. So we need to like revamp the whole idea of a logo, and I can't draw very well.
Well, you could use. They also use that. You don't have to use necessarily their logo. You can use the TrueFlow. What do you call it? They have like an animation of the TrueFlow. You could use.
Yep. Random fun fact: did you guys know that 90% of Canada's population is like, no, it's within 150 miles of the U.S. border.
Really?
Yeah. Their population is all in like 3 spots.
Yeah, it's because like the upper half of Canada is just
uninhabitable.
Yeah, you can't live.
Just ask, you'll get it. Just ask. Don't worry, they're good people, Jennifer. They're good. Just ask, you'll get it.
I don't think they have T-shirts, do they?
Yes, they do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Why do I not have one?
I have one that says the Energy Conservatory, blower door capital of the world, Minnesota.
Cool.
See, look at right there. We could have an Energy Conservatory shirt and just says, "We blow the doors off of competition" or something.
I did see that.
He did, and he made it. It was pretty cool. Pretty good.
Brett made an HVAC Overtime shirt.
We'll blow the doors off. Did anybody hear that?
His favorite person on the shirt. He put Joe's face and only Joe's face on it, and then he said Joe is great on the top of the shirt.
That was on the cup. That was in the cup. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that they should go a little edgier with their shirts. The Energy Conservatory.
100%.
Yeah.
Let's do this. You want to talk about HVAC schools? Said HVAC teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's throw. Okay, so let's throw a statistic out there, just off the top of your head. What do you think? Like, how many percentage-wise? How many good trade school teachers do you think there are? I know there's good ones.
There's probably a lot, but there's probably a funny thing. Listen to this. So I had this conversation today, actually, from another podcast host. I don't know if I should name his name. Maybe I should, right? Do you guys know Clifton Beck from ESCO, right? Yep. I had this conversation with him today. We were talking about instructors in different schools, and my thought processes behind it, like, if these schools are struggling to teach, the students, and they're only willing to pay like $30,000-$40,000 or whatever else, how are you going to attract somebody in the trade that's on the top of their game? They are the peak of the career. They know,
100%.
The highest level. You are not going to get somebody to come out of a truck and try to bring these students and educate them and bring them up to their level. All you're going to do is take somebody that is basically broken, that their body cannot do it anymore.
Yep.
Or they just like really, they have enough money and they're like, I'm going to give back. That's it. Those are the people you're going to get.
I'm going to say that there is a good amount of people. I'd say 30 to 40% of the teachers are going to be great teachers in the trade schools across, the industry. But I think that the schools themselves drag the teachers down. And what I mean by that is any given trade school, if you take a entry-level technician that starts at a trade school, after he completes that program, if he's a good student, he will be making over $100,000 within 2 years, probably, right? Mm-hmm. And the trade school teacher isn't even making $100,000. Right. So that's unacceptable. Trade school teachers need to be paid better, but they need to be held to higher standards, and they need to not have tenure. They cannot be in a school. That's the entire school system in general. There should be no such thing as tenure where you're protected as an educator. You should be able to be fired just like the students that you're teaching can be fired in a day.
Like, I'll throw this out here. Around here, there's 3 schools. I'm not going to name names, but there's 3 like sort of bigger HVAC schools. And 2 of them I did work for. And one of them, they emailed me an offer. But the 2 that I did work for, I got to talking to like the head guy, the dean or whatever, right? And I was real interested in training at the time. And he's like, well, come on in, you got the experience, blah, blah, blah. And all they're looking for is somebody with 5 years experience. And like, I kid you not, like, I had to eventually just say no. And I don't want to make this seem like I'm bragging whatsoever, because the interview process for any of this stuff is really like, oh, you've been doing this for 5 years? You want to come teach here? Like, you can start tomorrow if you want.
Right.
Like, a lot of and there's comments in the chat right now, people saying for-profit and profit and non-profit schools. There is a big difference. There can be good for-profit teachers too. Ty Brannaman came out of the for-profit trade schools, and Come on, Ty Branneman's one of the best educators
probably one
ever.
of the best in the country.
Yeah.
Sure.
But Ty also got sick of the for-profit and all the drama and stuff. So Ty's very vocal about his frustrations with that.
But I would say too, like if you started off as like, let's say that's your true passion, I do think you could start off, take a pay cut if you want to, because you're passionate about it. And you just got to do it to fulfill this life dream. And if you start off as like a teacher on the lower end of the salaries, like I think you could work your way up and, maybe move into, writing books, writing material, becoming a trainer for a larger corporation. I think there's avenues you could explore. And
I think there's definitely places where you can make money at teaching, but I think like probably overall there you get paid less than you should. Like the instructor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think again the big thing is that teachers need to be held accountable, and so do the programs and the administrators. Teachers that are held back by the dean of the school or whatever that has no idea what HVAC is, and all they're concerned is, well, you're not passing enough students. Not enough students are graduating. Our numbers are down. Well, that should not be a metric. I get it. I get why they're doing that, but that shouldn't be a metric because, students should be failed if they don't pass a class. You're doing the student a disservice by passing them. I had a friend that got let go from a for-profit trade school because he refused to pass students that didn't deserve to be passed, and he got let go. And it's like,
you're doing the trade a disservice, the actual trade itself a disservice. So you're passing these.
And it's dangerous. I mean, you can't have dummies out there working.
No. So there is good teachers out there, and there is people that have good intentions, just like technicians. There's lots of good technicians too, but there's also bad ones. And unfortunately, the bad ones, even if it's a smaller percentage than good ones, they're going to bring the industry down.
So let me ask you guys this. I know, Joe, you have your thing in Canada, your Red Seal or that, but what would if there was a vote in, like they said, January 1st, all the licensed HVAC companies or established businesses, because in certain areas you don't need a license, right? If there is a vote or whatever, or let's say there's not a vote and they just put it into effect or whatever, what was your thought process? What would you guys think of having a general HVAC license and like
I would do it.
Do it. I think it's a good idea.
I think it would be great. We don't have any licensing laws here. You have to have a license to own a business, and that's it.
We have I don't know, like I have my mechanical contractor's license, and I think there should be something very similar to that, like along those same lines. Like, you want to work on reefer systems? Well, you should have licensing to do so.
But here's one of the problems. When, let's just say they instituted a
federal
countrywide license program, right? In the beginning, nobody would pass the test.
Absolutely.
And then the second time around, they'd be like, well, since nobody's passing, we got to grade on a curve. So then they start dumbing down the test, just like Nate. That's the whole idea, Nate. And I'm sorry to throw Nate under the bus, but when RSCS originally helped Nate to try to write testing guidelines, they realized that nobody could pass the test. So then they dumbed it down to the point that a dummy like me could pass a Nate test without even studying.
That's dumb.
That's dumb. And, it's a for-profit thing. So, I mean, I get it. Any certification is better than no certification.
Oh, he's back, Joe. Get him out of here.
He gone. No, I agree, Chris. And real estate services, sales, and heat and cooling saying you need a license for a license. So that's good in New Jersey. That's good. More power
but the thing is, like, it's not like I'm in Chicago and it's a freaking Wild West with a lot of the things that's going on up here. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't be, because we're in a super established and very populated area. You would think it's top-notch stuff, which it is as far as like the union and commercial and industrial and that, but like residential, it's a joke.
Yeah.
And half the people working on stuff residential wise have no business touching equipment.
You know what I just realized? Yeah, those freaking emojis are in my way to freaking get these guys. Anyways,
who is that guy, Mr. Burglars?
I don't know. I don't even say his name, dude.
Why? I like this guy, Mr.
Yeah, that's what they want. You know,
who is he?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I think it's Zach Ciota.
They're gone. They're gone. All right. I think it's time we wrap this up. We've ranted and raved and screamed and shouted about everything, and I'm kind of hungry. And
it's been an emotional roller coaster tonight, guys.
100%.
I mean, between all this,
edge of our
all the
seats.
education that we're talking about, and all the sexism and racism from Joe, and
Bill, before we close the show out, I want you to pick one item and showcase it for us in the background there. I want you to grab one item, and your most favorite item, and show it to us and tell us why it's so important to you.
You just made me the happiest boy on earth.
I know. Don't stand up. Don't stand up, Bill.
Well, how am I going to get it?
Yes, don't stand
up. I got a roller chair. I got a roller chair.
You got to show us that you're actually not wearing pants right now.
I'll show you that.
Wait, show everyone your overtime tattoo.
Oh, yeah, look at that guy. See?
Oh, geez. This guy legit got an HVAC overtime.
Yes.
I think we should change the show's name.
Put a big screen on him, Adam.
Blood in, blood out, right? Blood in, blood out.
I'm getting mine. Yep, I'm working on it.
Yeah, right there, guys. See?
There you go.
Got that last weekend.
Come
on. Let's see. What do you guys want to see? Let me figure out something cool.
Show us something cool, and we'll keep the conversation going. So he is wearing pants, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
He's rocking his overtime hat.
I bet you anything he grabs one of the dinosaurs. What does he grab?
All right, this one holds a small little special spot in my heart. This guy right here. You guys recognize this?
One of the Happy Meal toys.
Is that a toast? Is that a sandwich?
I don't know.
It's one of the Happy Meal toys. And this one, I remember, I have a duplicate of this, and inside there was a little notepad, right? I don't know why. I mean, it was literally that big to fit in there. What are you gonna write on there? Like one letter? But you would fold up his little hands and his feet, and he would transform him. He's a little
stiff.
There you go. Look at that. This is a little sandwich, man. Yeah, it's from McDonald's, like early 90s.
It's a cute
toy. Wait a sec.
Let's see.
So I'm gonna go get my toy, one of my favorite childhood things. Hold on just a second.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Yeah, it is. It is Cali. I don't know, Chris.
Yeah,
should we be scared here? But anyways, I was saying while we're waiting for him, I might have to clean out the first NTI boiler there, and I've been a while.
Multiples.
Why?
Cool, Bill. Intermittent P30 code, second time going back. I checked my static in my exhaust and the pressure of the regulator of the gas, but it's still coming back, so I'm gonna have to clean it out and go from there. Anyway,
speaking of McDonald's, do you guys remember these?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was when McDonald's like gave quality stuff out.
Yes, these were the peanuts. So
that?
I found these in my grandmother-in-law's cabinet. She had a whole set pristine, and I was like, I want those. So I took them, and then we ordered more off of eBay. Now this one's starting to fade because we use them every day, but these are Peanuts characters, and this is real glass. Like it's not
use them.
We use them all the time, bro. 100%.
That makes me sad.
Yep.
Right.
He came back with a box of relics. That's right. Mike B says he has a set. Yeah. Yep. We have a bunch of them too.
You know, the one thing I want that I haven't dropped the cash on yet is McDonald's. For a little bit of time, they stopped doing the Happy Meal boxes, and they would do like around Halloween time. They would just do like the Halloween buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those?
Yep.
Yeah, I got to get me some of those.
Do you remember when McDonald's used to sell the cookies, and they were actually good, like little packages of cookies? They were amazing. Yes.
Dude, the toy game from like cereal to McDonald's toys, so much better when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
Do they even have toys in cereal anymore? I don't think so.
No. You know that our McDonald's, my local McDonald's, had a legitimate playground with a merry-go-round that you pushed a button and the thing would go in circles. Like it was an electronic merry-go-round. Yeah, dude.
In California?
In California, dude.
Wow.
You know, it was my favorite toy growing up when I was younger. Did you guys ever watch the show Voltron?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I had like I asked my mom for it so many times, and like she wouldn't buy it for me. I want to say it was like around $100, and this is like in the late 80s. It was like a big thing, Voltron, and then like the arms popped off, and like you put the little guys on the inside and everything.
Yeah.
And during one of my birthday parties, my aunt showed up late to the party, and she's like, "Oh, you know what? I forgot to get you a present." I'm like, "That's all right. I'm just happy you came." So we're hanging out for a while, and she's like, "Oh, can you come outside with me?" And she freaking bought me that Voltron. And I was like, I wanted that for like 2 years. And it was like, man, I wish I ruined that thing, and it's in the garbage for, I don't know.
Oh, man.
I do want to address Sequest. He says, am I aware that paint has toxins in it? Yeah, that's what made me withstand and survive COVID, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when like lead actually made me survive life.
That's what makes it taste so good.
And did any of you guys ever have your birthday parties at McDonald's on the playground?
No,
that was
Do you remember like the creepy statue of Ronald McDonald?
Ronald, yeah, the big
yeah,
porcelain Ronald McDonald thing,
Yeah.
and we'd hang on it and stuff. Yes, 100%.
I never had one of those.
Balls are.
Yep, we used to have birthday parties at the play place at McDonald's for sure.
Well,
For sure.
we might be
I say
back tomorrow night doing our
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah,
Reaction time.
We'll have to start another YouTube channel so we don't get this one canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't get this canceled. I already got the logo tattoo. Man, can't cover that up.
We're gonna have to make another video with the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Bill's all down and out, and he's like scratching his thing, and it's all bloody. And he's trying to scratch
Getting
it out with
laser
his
surgery.
fingernails.
Speaking of
Get
one,
some sort of phallic thing tattooed over it.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oh
For
man.
All right, well, let's wrap this. I
Let's
appreciate
wrap it up.
everybody.
all right, Bill, don't you have like something to say here?
No, I was just coughing. Unless you want to do the old outro.
Yep.
Go for it.
Might as well be professionals, right? For our
That's
no
right.
sponsors. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys don't already know, we do have a Facebook group. It's free to join as long as you can answer the 2 basic simple questions and you have some sort of foot in the industry. Also, go to our website, HVACOvertime.com. Check out our stuff. Read about our history. Read about... Actually, if you guys don't know this, it's been a while since we kind of talked about this, but on the HVAC Overtime website, we each wrote a little sort of a biop of each other.
Oh, I forgot about that. Actually, I think I wrote 3 of them. And I
I
think one person wrote mine. I think I wrote all 3, and then someone
I
wrote
think
mine.
I wrote Chris's, and then Chris wrote the rest of them.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you haven't ever, just go check it out. It's a fun little read. You can check out some of our merch if you guys want to buy some there. We make $0 off it, but we just do it for the community, right? We just do it for the community. All right. Also, yeah, we might have some shorts on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. What else? What else are we doing? We're doing shorts on YouTube. We don't do that anymore, do we?
Someone's slacking a little bit, so we'll just skip that.
Yes.
Says the guy who showed up 3 seconds before we hit the live button.
That's a good point. He makes a good point.
I can't tell you how many times Joe messages in the chat, like passive aggressive. Apparently we don't do shorts anymore. Is anybody going to do shorts? Shorts?
Hashtag it's only
shorts?
191 episode.
Guess
Mhm.
what?
Oh man.
Joe has the username and password to TikTok.
That's true.
Truth.
And don't forget, guys, the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of our own and in no way reflect the views and opinions of our sponsors,
Except
associates,
Joe's.
and
Those are
members.
not of our own. We do
100%.
not agree with Joe's views.
Yes, we do not agree with Joe's.
I say
opinion.
one thing.
His
Oh my God.
opinions are separate from ours, but overall, ours are our own and in no way reflect anybody at all whatsoever. So, hashtag don't cancel us.
And if you really came to the show thinking you were going to get serious technical talk, we apologize.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Sorry.
You should have done your research.
Yep.
This
100%.
show was not that.
Nope.
But we try. We try.
No, we don't.
No, not really.
Come on, we do. Stop it.
No, I mean we're all like I've always said. This is like if you go to a supply house after hours and you're in the back room just chatting it up with the boys, having a beer, just bullshitting about your
True.
day. That's us.
But we
That's-
have some good talks too, Bill.
we do,
Tech
we
stuff.
do, but it's not always just about HVAC stuff. Sometimes we'll
No.
talk about '90s toys
Or
Rocky
Pound
Horror
Town.
Picture Show,
Poundland.
Yeah,
Downtown,
Downtown and the
Truck
tech
stop
stuff.
follies.
Pound Town.
You guys
Yeah.
are nasty.
Oh,
Banging,
you know what we
banging
should
truckers.
start? Hey, let's get an approval right now. At the end of every show, we have to apologize for everything fucked up we said on the show.
Oh, I can't
You-
remember all that.
What radio shows do that? There's a radio show out there that would do that. After every show, they would apologize for all the bullshit they
Yeah,
said.
we'd
on
have
the
to
show.
hire an assistant.
Let's do it. We
We
got
just,
money in
like-
the budget. We're monetized.
We try to hire Yamo, but I guess he doesn't
We
want to do
just
it anymore.
basically have to apologize for everything Joe says.
Yeah,
That was a little
Anyways.
cringy. You just did this, Joe. A little cringy.
100%.
Mhm.
A little cringy.
What I said?